We decided to do some real-life green screen tests. Neither one of us had done it before, and we wondered just how hard it was. We found a tent so we didn't have to work in the sun, and it gave us even lighting, and it kept the wind away. We used a collapsible green screen with some tension around the edges. We'd heard that it's very important to have a smooth green screen surface. We used an old Nikon manual lens on the video camera. We set the focus and aperture manually, then taped the lens, so the focus and the aperture were the same for all our tests. Now, our experiment was designed to give us 3 different green screen setups. The first was in the shade with soft lighting. The second was in the sun with harsh lighting and wind, I might add. The third was in a studio with a professionally prepared background and lighting. Before starting, we made sure our green screen was as smooth as we could make it. Then we focused the camera on the actor's position and marked that spot on the ground and measured the distance from the camera for our next setups. We didn't know what exposure to use, so we set our exposure so that the histogram on the green screen was about at 50%. We had a rehearsal. We thought we were ready to go. Camera rolling, and here's the final result. The black is transparent. We'll have more to say about this and the trouble we had to get this result later. The next step was to film the background, so we moved the green screen off to the side, out of the field of view, then shot some action in the background. Finally, we shot the entire scene all over again with an actor and background and no green screen, and see about the comparison between the real and the fake. Here's the real version. No green screen. Here's the fake version using a green screen. Okay, let's go out in the sunlight with our portable green screen. You can see that the wind is blowing lightly, giving us a lot of trouble, causing a very uneven and changing green screen background. Next, we marked the spot for the actor, the exact same distance from the camera as in our first test. We filmed the same sequence of events and used some strong software compensation to get rid of the green screen problems. More about that later. Now, all these comparisons may be going a bit fast for you to do your comparison, but we'll show them all over again later. Now, let's tear down, pack up, and go to our inside green screen test. We set things up exactly the same way. The hat on the floor down there is the actor's mark measured from the camera. Note that there's a slight shadow from the fill light on the green screen directly behind the actor. Will this be a problem? Well, here's the result. You probably have noticed that the background is a little bit out of focus. This was on purpose to make the actor stand out from the background. The effect was achieved by setting the aperture at 2.8 and using a camera with a 1-inch sensor. Now let's look at the comparisons. Well, here we are on this beautiful hot day, and we've got this marvelous tent somebody put up for us, and we're testing the green screen. I'm curious to know whether if I move my hand like this, you can see a problem, or if I move like this, you can see a problem, and whether or not I look real. Well, what do you think? Well, hello. We're here again, and I'm curious to know how this looks. Does this look real? Move my hand. This way, this way. Does it look like I'm separate or not? Well, here we are in another green screen test. And does this look realistic? This is shot inside the studio green screen area. And we're going to superimpose it on the stuff we took outside. Okay, here we are for another green screen test. This time the sun is lighting the background and the wind is blowing at something terrible. But let's see how this is and this is. How does it look? Well, here we are out in the sun, and can you tell that this is real? It is real. So I hope it looks good. I know the sun lighting is terrible, but we didn't have a chance to work on that. Sorry. Well, here we are in another green screen test. And does this look realistic? This is shot inside the studio green screen area. And we're going to superimpose it on the stuff we took outside. Now I want to show you some of the unexpected problems. Here's the portable green screen in the shade. The uniformity in color looks good. I'm going to pick this spot as my place to delete green. Here's the result. The black is transparent. Surprise! In the bottom left are some wrinkles, but they go away. A mystery. Then, all of a sudden, the lower half becomes a lighter grade of green. Unacceptable. How can the green screen color change with time? I'll repeat this clip. I've decided that I made a mistake and had the camera set in the automatic white balance mode. When there was only green in the camera lens, the camera picked an appropriate white balance for that color. As soon as the actor appeared in the frame, the camera needed to adjust its white balance, thus causing the background green color to change with time. Now let's look at the green screen we took in sunlight. Mostly nasty shadows, not uniform. Here's the color I selected to key, and here's the resulting product. Totally unacceptable. However, by playing around with the keying controls, I was able eventually to eliminate the unwanted wrinkles, and I think the actor looked acceptable. But I certainly don't recommend this approach. Finally, let's look at the key from the studio lit green screen. It looks very uniform. There's that slight shadow from the fill light. I'm going to pick this color as the key. And this is the result. Perfect! No blemishes. Fantastic. Well, we hope this has been useful to you. Many happy returns in using a green screen.